Hey guys, I think I just stumbled upon one of the best budget RGB lights possible. But let's talk about it. Hey guys, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Crazy One. I'm one of those people who I want to appeal to the guys that don't have the big budget money, and the guys that don't get stuff sent to them. You know, we want to be at that point. We all want to be at that point. But when we're not at that point, we get what we get and we get what we can afford. And I have a treat for you today. Today, we're talking about the GVM 800D RGB lights. It's a LED panel, and oh my God, this thing is ridiculous. All right. So first, let's just start off the rip with why RGB and why not a daylight or tungsten or bicolor or any of those things like that. Well, first of all, this thing can do bicolor. All right. This is one of the good features about it. So if you don't want to go through the fancy RGB stuff, this is really for you. You know, you want the versatility and you want the output from a budget unit like this. This is the way to go. So you see I have one RGB above me that's going to be shining on me through this whole review. That's just a sample of what RGBs can do, because if you want to, you know, do something like throw some accents on your hair light or something like that, you can always do something like an RGB, which can do crazy funky stuff like this, you know, like that, and even does like a lot of other things when you want to like spruce up your videos on a little bit. So you can change colors, you can do some crazy funky lighting stuff. I shot a commercial for CES MMA. I did some real crazy colors and things like that, but I didn't do it with this light. I did it with an Aperture 120D with a Fresnel and a gel, and you know, with that whole setup is kind of crazy because you have to set up your light dome, and then you have to put one of these things inside of it, and then you put the gel inside of this, and then, you know, you can go ahead and go about your business. Or if you have a Fresnel, you get a Fresnel with a barn door attachment that can do gels, and you can do that. And it gets a little bit complicated when you can just go ahead and just dial in the color that you want and the scheme what you want with a panel or a kit. So you only see one light right now. I have another light that's shining on me like right in front, giving me a little bit of red kick on this side of me. You can see when I put my hand up, all right, got a little red going on this side. And then up here I have a Yongnuo YN360 that's giving me the other one, because I have this that I want to show you and I want to have on hand for you. This bad boy is ridiculous. It's sick. It's like, I don't know how to explain it, but what I will do is I will say that when you get this thing, it comes in a dope package. All right, GVM, they be hooking you up with some packaging. I want to sit there and say that GVM gets the packaging of the year. All right, for 2019, of course, but they get the packaging of the year for this light kit, because I don't care if this is a budget kit. And when I say budget, I'm talking about the kit was only $175. And you know, for RGB lights that are, you know, the big brother to this thing is like $239 or $240 just for one light for the big brother of this. And to get two of these lights for $175, and then two stands and then other stuff with it, that's a dope deal. It's a dope bargain. All right, you definitely want to invest in that. But that being said, when I opened this bad boy up, I felt like I was getting some cologne. Like this was like, I felt like this was like somebody's Christmas gift that, you know, like a aunt or uncle that's saying, I don't know what to get you, so I just got you some cologne. Look at the pretty packaging on this thing. This thing is really sick when it comes down to the packaging. And this was just the box for the power cables. Like seriously. But It also comes with a stand, as you see here. The light, as you see here, with the barn doors already pre-attached. There's no assembly required. I know if you go through like the newer or the Drake has lights that are similar, but that are the bicolor lights that are similar. They come with the barn doors. You actually have to put it together. And I believe even the bigger brother of this, you have to put together the barn doors because there are other diffusion attachments that can go with this. But one of the things that are really good about this thing is, you know, it comes with a diffusion panel that's already inside. You can actually take the diffusion panel out. If I press this button in here, and you know, you can see the lights that are there in the diffusion panel. But there also, it comes in these velvet bags. Like, listen, when I say they listen, I don't care if this is a budget thing, they make you feel like you just bought a $5,000 light. When you open this bad boy up, the GVM velvet sack for the light, and then you have the velvet sack for the light stand. It's so soft. It's the thing that I like about this the most. It's not just that you feel that you got a quality product, you got a quality product. So let me turn this bad boy on so you can see what you get. All right, so first, it runs off of 2 Sony NPF batteries, all right? You can't use just one, it has to be 2. You have a knob here that is for your intensity, how much you wanna, you know, shine it, how much you wanna dim it. And then the other one is for a multi-purpose usage, whether you wanna go tungsten or daylight or start the RGB, and you can get your hue and everything like that. And then there's a couple of dials and buttons for other modes, such as, we'll get there, but Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and everything else. You can control an entire set with your phone using the app that they give you. There's a port for a power cable right here, and it's a right angle cable, so when you plug it in, you can actually you know, have it hanging down. Now, I will let you know that the power cables here, they're not bad in length, all right, but they will make you want to go the battery route a little bit more, because then you got to take this and you have to mount it to the stand. You have to make sure that this is in the way it's supposed to go, and you don't want this to hang, you don't want the wires to break and everything like that. Okay, so I said I was going to do it. Let's do it now. We're going to turn this bad boy on and watch this. Okay, so check this out. This is with the diffusion panel on, and this is at 5% brightness. That bad boy is bright, and this is only with 5% brightness. If I turn my key light off, which I'm gonna do there, this is the light that you get shining on me directly from the side. If I move it a little bit here, you can see, all right, that's at 5%. So if I start turning this bad boy up, you'll see how bright it goes. If I find the knob here, there we go. So you can do it through the dial, you can do it in increments of 5. If you use the app, you can dial it all the way down to 1. But if I go all the way up, that's to 100%, and that's what you're looking at. And I will literally blind the camera with that. And that's with my key light off. All right, and we're gonna go right back to the 5% because I am on battery power. They will last. Like, I use them as work lights, because the one thing I always want to do is I want to see how much or how long these bad boys can last, just for practical use. So if I'm just doing one of my my Facebook shows or something like that, and I want to, you know, hang the lights as extra fill lights or something like that at 5%, it'll last me an entire show, maybe 2, because I think I had these things on for about a good 2 hours before I started filming this with one 990 and one 970 Sony NPF battery. But remember, you need 2 batteries to run this thing. It will not run on just one, so that's very important. Here is the tungsten, and here's the daylight balance. It'll go all the way from 56 to 32, yep, 56 to 32, which is standard unless you're getting into like aperture, which can go to like 90 something and 26ers or whatever it is that they can do on certain aperture lights. But you guys want to see the RGB stuff, so let's do the RGB stuff. If I tap the button right here, I go into RGB mode, and then from here I start dealing with this the hue. Now the hue is the color of your thing. So if I want to go from red to green to like a teal, and then go straight over to the other way, and I can start going back to yellow, purple, straight up blue. There's the purple, there's the teal, and then there's the blue. 0 will be red, and then you will go into your 240 will be blue, and so on and so forth. You just have to know what your degrees are, but it's right there on the app, and you can adjust the daylight and the tungsten and switch over modes between that on the app. All right, so let's do the red. Let's turn the aperture off, and that's what you get. So, of course, you can still see the accent this way. You can still see the accent when you're looking at the camera, and you can still tell that, hey, there's an RGB light on, all right? But if there were a white background or a background that was conducive to bouncing the red colors off, you can see it a little bit more prominently. Again, if I turn the aperture off, that's what you get. And any white light is going to desaturate it. And speaking of saturations, you can deal with your saturation with the app. If you want to go 50% saturation, kind of make it a pinkish or what have you, it's all there on the app. All in all, this is a really, really good kit. I do recommend it for those budget filmmakers. If you have a little bit more money, you might want to go to 50 RS version, because it is a little bit more heavy duty. Case itself, the chassis itself is aluminum. However, everything built around it is plastic. So the sides that mount the rack is plastic. The housing for the battery and the electronics is plastic, but the actual light itself is nice and aluminum. So you will get some good build quality out of this. The rack is good build quality, and you can mount it through side holes and the bottom hole to get flexibility, because the barn doors do not prevent it from turning around like a lot of the newer in the Dracast barn door system. This can go full-fledged around. You might have to close the barn doors to do it, but the grill for the barn door, the rack for the barn door, does not prevent it from spinning around. So if you want to mount it through this way so you can have a little bit more flexibility, shine it up, shine it down, hang them from C-stands or something like that, you have the full capability to do so. The barn doors are plastic, but they are not the flimsy plastic. They do give you a good amount of control with your spill. However, it is a light panel and not a COB, so you're not gonna be able to get those slits and that type of deal. You're not gonna be able to get that with these, but you're still going to be able to get a good amount of control using these barn doors, all right? So that's it. These are the GVM 800D RGB lights, and these lights are amazing. Go pick one up if you are a budget filmmaker, and for you guys that are on that budget, keep dreaming big. One day you'll get there. All right, guys, see you next time. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel if you like what I'm doing. If you see the potential in what I'm doing, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, share a comment. If you have RGB lights, if you've seen better, or if you had worse, let me know in the comments below. I want to know what your experience is with RGB lights and how you've been using them, and link me to a couple videos where you've done some projects with RGB lights. All right, it's your boy Crazy One. We are signing off with another product review, and we'll see you next time. Peace.